dream of Filipinos who passionately love their country and whose values and competencies enable them to realize their full potential and contribute meaningfully to building the nation. As a learner-centered public institution, the Department of Education continuously improves itself to better serve its stakeholders. To protect and promote the right of every Filipino to quality, equitable, culture-based, and complete basic education, where students learn in a child-friendly, gender-sensitive, safe, and motivating environment. Teachers facilitate learning and constantly nurture every learner. Administrators and staff, as stewards of the institution, ensure an enabling and supportive environment for effective learning to happen. Family, community, and other stakeholders are actively engaged and share responsibility for developing lifelong learners. The Results-Based Performance Management System, or the RPMS of DepEd, supports the vision, mission, and values of the agency as it continuously endeavors to evolve as a community and learner-centered institution. The RPMS is an organization-wide process that will equip employees to focus efforts towards achieving DepEd's vision, mission, and values. RPMS is a systematic approach for continuous work improvement and individual growth. The ultimate aim of the RPMS is to effectively implement the programs in the whole organization of DepEd to deliver better services to all Filipino learners. The RPMS is a tool for people development. We need it to align individual roles and targets with DepEd's direction and increase productivity. RPMS is one of the key interventions that supports the implementation of the K-12 curriculum. The strategic planning processes are like two sides of the same coin. It emerges from an organization's vision. Translating a strategy into executable goals requires skill. The broad strategies are translated into Key Result Areas, or KRAs, Objectives and Performance Indicators of OPIF. All government agencies have an OPIF log frame. Our organizational outcome leads to improve access to quality basic education. The RPMS is the mechanism to enculturate DepEd's vision, mission, and values. It is composed of the what, or the achievements of the KRAs and objectives, and the how, or the demonstration of competencies. These are the skills, knowledge, and behaviors used to accomplish results. Every level in the agency should be able to do this for the VMV to be realized. What are the objectives of RPMS? First, to align roles and targets with DepEd's direction. Second, to track accomplishments against objectives, to determine appropriate corrective actions if needed. Third, to provide feedback on employees' work progress and accomplishment. And lastly, to be a tool for people development. They should also come up with a development plan to address competency gaps. Personnel under contracts of service, job order, or LGU-funded employees are likewise covered, but for purposes of performance evaluation only. The RPMS of DepEd is aligned with the Strategic Performance Management System of the Civil Service Commission, which has 4 phases: performance planning and commitment, performance monitoring and coaching, performance review and evaluation, and performance rewarding and development planning. DepEd has 2 RPMS cycles. For the non-school-based personnel, it will be from December of the previous year to December of the current performance cycle. For school-based personnel, it will be from May to April. There are 2 major RPMS forms: the OPCRF, which will be used by the heads of offices, and the IPCRF for individual employees. What are the 4 phases of RPMS? The performance planning and commitment phase is the starting point of the RPMS. Supervisors, or the raters, and staff, the ratees. First, both the ratee and the rater will discuss the objectives. They should come up with 3 objectives for each KRA. Remember that objectives should follow the SMART criteria. Performance indicators measure whether a performance is good or bad. Competencies are how the KRAs and objectives are realized. In identifying and discussing competencies required, it is important to note that there are 4 kinds of competencies. Competencies are the house of performance, the knowledge, motivation, and behaviors people display to achieve results. Competencies uphold the organization's values. They represent the way people define and live these values. And lastly, the rater and the ratee should reach an agreement. Phase 2 is the heart of the RPMS. There are 2 important components. First is the performance monitoring, and second is coaching and feedback. Performance monitoring, coaching, and feedback must be done throughout the year. Why is performance monitoring important? It serves as a key input to performance measures. It provides objective basis of ratings. It facilitates feedback. It also defines opportunities for improvement and provides evidence of such. In performing your functions, capturing significant incidents is important and useful. These evidences will have an impact on your final performance result. The second component of Phase 2 is coaching and feedback. Ratees seek coaching especially when they feel that they need improvements in results. Raters provide coaching and feedback on the progress of work performance and behavior. A mid-year review gives the employee a chance to improve performance and get better results. After working closely with the people in their respective work groups and identifying KRAs, objectives, performance indicators, related competencies, regular coaching, and review meetings, it is time for the review and evaluation phase. Two important steps that must be accomplished in this phase. A successful review session should be a positive experience. Have no surprises. Be a two-way discussion where both sides are well prepared. The rater and the ratee should discuss the performance appraisal. Remember, the final rating should be in 3 decimal points. In discussing strengths and development needs, the highest point in results and demonstration of competencies are the strengths. The lowest points are the development needs. The last phase is performance rewarding and development planning. There are 2 important points in this phase: rewards and development plan. The rater and the ratee should discuss accomplishments, corresponding rewards, and incentives. The RPMS is also linked to rewards and other HR systems. They should also come up with a development plan to address performance and competency gaps. In order to formulate the development plan for the next year, the rater and the ratee should agree on the action plan, the timeline, and the resources needed to address the development needs. What are the steps in development planning? It is ideal to conduct a simple competency assessment to identify current strengths and development needs. Raters tend to resort to a classroom training whenever they handle people for staff development. But there are many ways to develop employees. Listed are some activities considered appropriate for employee development. For more information, visit DepEd Order No. 2, Series of 2015, Guidelines on the Establishment and Implementation of Results-Based Performance Management System in the Department of Education.